Hey there, I am excited to share a little sneak peek of a poster that we are going to have at the Functional Neurologic Disorders Society next week. So a little preview for you today and dive into a little bit of the literature that led us down this path. If we haven't met, my name is Julie Hirschberg. I'm a neurologic physical therapist and the owner and founder of Re+active Therapy and Wellness. I'm in the Los Angeles area, and next week, part of our team, actually not me because my daughter's graduating from 8th grade, but part of our team is going to be in Italy presenting at the biannual Functional Neurologic Disorders Society meeting, which is super exciting. And in fact, if you're going, let me know. I want to connect you to our team. But I got to collaborate with my colleagues at Mass General Hospital to put together a poster to share. And I wanted to give you a sneak peek because I just love this topic. So we have a poster. I'm going to see if I can share a little sneak peek of it. It's going to be teeny tiny. This is what it looks like. But it's called Optimal is Optimal in Functional Neurologic Disorders, Motor Learning for FND. So this is myself, Julie Maggio, Heather Salon, both from Mass General, and then Ava and Jenna and Lincoln from our team, because we are sharing a case in this poster. Now I'm going to share a couple of pieces from the poster to highlight. And we started this work. Let me see if I can stop sharing. We started this work. Julie Maggio and Heather Salon and I started this work for an annual national conference for physical therapists, and we presented on it. We got a lot of great feedback, and so we had put together, by the way, lots of work into this presentation. So we put that together into a poster, presenting a case, and we're writing a paper on this, so to be published as well. So I want to share first the background of this and this particular article. So this article came out in 2016. It was a theoretical review proposing a new motor learning theory called Optimal. Optimizing performance through intrinsic motivation and attention for learning. The optimal theory of motor learning. This was from our colleagues, Gabby Wolf, who is, or was, I believe she still is, at UNLV, and Rebecca Luthwaite, who actually was one of my mentors when I did residency. So she's out here in California. So really tons of work into this theoretical perspective on motor learning that propose that there are attentional and motivational factors that go into motor learning, with a ton of research to support it. This has been out for a while. We've been using this in practice for all kinds of folks to drive motor learning and motor performance. What is really cool is how much this theory and the evidence support it overlaps with some of the pathophysiology and mechanisms of functional neurologic disorder, at least what we know so far. And so what we did as a part of our poster, so I'm going to stop sharing this article and give you this diagram. So we really combined the optimal framework. So this optimal theory includes components of attention and motivation. So you can see those in the blue. In fact, all of the pieces in the blue are optimal components. The pieces in the orange are our understanding of some of the pathophysiology and mechanisms in FND. And the bright orange in the middle is kind of the overlap. So I'll walk you through this. On the left-hand side, we have attention. So the optimal theory proposes that an external focus of attention improves motor learning. And not only do they propose this, they support this with a ton of literature in basketball, in golf, in running, in weightlifting, in older adults, in Parkinson's, this external focus of attention improves a person's both performance of a task and their learning of a task. So external focus means a focus on something outside or external to the body. So I know when I was learning sports or dance or really like any new skill, I got a lot of feedback like put your elbow up here, turn your body here, move your hips this way. That is all internal focus. And when I started as a physical therapist, I primarily used internally focused cues like squeeze your glute here, lift your foot here, move your body this way, turn your trunk that way, and so on. Not bad things, but they're internally focused. What we know now is that actually an external focus cue, so instead of move your shoulder here, we might say touch your shirt to this object. I'm kind of touching it to my curtain over here, for example, and I'll give you loads of examples, by the way, but using a focus that's external to the body. This improves motor learning in all situations. This is not specific to neurology. This would be for learning any new task. So that attentional focus, external focus, helps motor learning. So that is the first component of the optimal theory. The bottom two are motivational factors, one of them being autonomy and one enhanced expectancies. So autonomy is simply giving some control to the person. When a person has more autonomy, it improves their motor learning, even if the choice is incidental to the task at hand. The third thing at the bottom is enhanced expectancies. So these two researchers that brought these pieces together brought a whole ton of literature to show that when a person has an expectation of doing well on a task, they actually do better. Not rocket science there, but they have a lot. It's not just like positive thinking. There's a lot of science to support that for motor learning, not just that the person feels better about it, but that they actually learn the task better. So that's what's on the left in the blue. Let's now put that together with functional neurologic disorders. And maybe if you're in this world, you're already thinking, oh my gosh, clearly those things help a person with functional neurologic disorder. Honestly, these things help an athlete. They help a human learn a motor skill. But there is a particular they directly address some of the difficult pieces in functional neurologic disorder. So that's in the orange. So if we think about external focus, some of the literature in functional neurologic disorders has looked at the attentional focus in somebody with a neurologic disorder or somebody with FND, and found that it kind of goes awry, that there's excessive internal focus, and that is part of the pathophysiology of the disorder. So actually using external focus helps decrease, and what I would almost say is rewire some of that attentional system for a person in FND. Awesome. That's fantastic. Let's go down to the bottom two. So autonomy. Why is this important in FND? Again, some of the imaging studies, fMRI, particularly in FND, have shown that a person has decreased self-agency. By the way, not only imaging studies, by the way, I've been working on writing this paper. There's loads of studies with different tasks that a person learns, different situations where a person with FND compared to a healthy control has a much lower sense of voluntary control over movement, a much less agency and autonomy. So providing autonomy within therapy, whether that's physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy, psychotherapy, whether it's in the home or life, that actually can improve the sense of self-agency for a person with FND. And then the third thing's enhanced expectancies. So we also know in the literature and understanding what might be happening in FND is that there is a high or over-reliance on the predictive feed-forward mechanisms in the brain. And these enhanced expectancies can actually change that. So if we follow these arrows down, so we've got external focus, autonomy, enhanced expectancies, the changes that it's directly addressing in functional neurologic disorders, all of these pointing to helping a person unlock or improve their access to automatic movement. That's what's in the orange in the middle. We, in a motor functional neurologic disorder, people want to be able to control their movement. They want to have access to that. So that is what we are driving through these concepts. That in turn improves their motor output, motor learning. And then if we look at kind of the bottom part there that loops around, this updates some of that prediction, which then changes some of that predictive model in the brain. So that's kind of essentially why optimal is optimal for motor. So yes, you hear me talk all the time about the other things, the sensory system, the autonomic system, all of the other pieces of FND. We cannot ignore those, but this framework is really helpful from a motor standpoint. Okay, so by the way, if you're here joining me live, thank you. And feel free to leave questions, comments here as I am going. I want to see if I can share what we did in this poster. Oh, you're not going to be able to read it. But I'll give you the background of it anyway. What we did in this poster is broke down the science of optimal, the science of functional neurologic disorders, and then for clinicians give you very practical ways to do this in functional neurologic disorders. I'm going to stop sharing this because you can't even read it anyway. So let me see here. So by the way, if you're going to the FND Society meeting, come check out the poster. Julie Maggio is going to be there sharing our poster in Italy, talking about these things. But in this table, we describe the science and give some practical pieces for you. So I want to share a couple of those. So for example, if we start with external focus, this can be as simple as using a piece of tape or a sticker. So if you had a task that you were looking for a person to be able to have more automatic activity in their hand, you could simply put a sticker on the hand and a sticker on the wall and get to the target. Now, that might not be super fun. I might make it more fun. We love using things like the blaze pods, which light up and give us a target to touch. I love things that make noise, so little squeakers or sounds, because that's another external focus. So that would be an example of external focus. Now, I want to just keep layering on those other pieces, because you know what's best? The triple thread. External focus, autonomy, and enhanced expectancies all together. So let's layer on autonomy to our external focus. So let's say we're using blaze pods, which by the way are these little light up pods that you can program to change colors. And I'm doing this because we often put them on the wall and the person might be reaching and touching them. So that's the external focus. Well, we can give a person autonomy and ask them, what color would you like to do? Let's make them blue. Let's make it rainbow. Let's do red. Or we can say, where would you like to put them? Do you want to put them at this height? Do you want to put them here? Do you want to start down low? Or where do you want to start? We know we want to do all different realms of movement. Where would you like to start that movement? So that would be layering on autonomy. Now let's layer on enhanced expectancies. Now, enhanced expectancies is not just like, I think you're going to do good at this, or people like you do good at this. Those are ways to do that. But I actually love to use the power of prediction as enhanced expectancies. So with prediction, we have our test, right? So we have the blaze pods, we've given the autonomy. Now we're going to ask the person, okay, we've got 30 seconds. How many do you think you can hit in that amount of time? That actually primes the person to predict, right? So that is an enhanced expectancy, a very simple one. Sarah is saying, love the blaze pods. Me too. They're so much fun. I've even had people purchase them, like to have at home because they're so much fun. And one of the nice things about all of these pieces is when you gamify activities for a person, it often incorporates a lot of these. You can give an external focus. That's what game and play are. You can provide autonomy for how that game is set up, and a lot of predictions and competition for that enhanced expectancies. So in our poster, which by the way, I'll share a little picture of that poster again. In our poster, go see it if you go to the conference in Italy next week. In our poster, we share this framework, we share the science and the research, and then we share a case. So in this case, we actually give others a QR code for people to watch video examples of all of this. We've got a bunch of blaze pods things. We share a case and we share outcomes of this case for people to see that this can be really effective in functional neurologic disorders. So I know you can't really see the whole poster there, but that's what it looks like, and that's what it'll look like in Italy. And Sarah is saying having fun. I have fun. Sarah, I'm actually going to the meeting virtually. I'm not going to Italy, but Ava and Chelsea from our group are going to the to Italy to do this in person. I'm going to be joining virtually because my youngest daughter is graduating from 8th grade next week, and I'm not going to miss it. Even though I love these conferences, I would love to go to Italy, but not going to miss it for the world for my daughter's graduation. So, but if anybody else is going, please say hello to our amazing team who will be in Italy. Please go visit the poster that Julie Maggio will be representing for us, and be on the lookout. We're working on a paper to publish this as well. So for all my clinician friends, be on the lookout. We'll be probably submitting it next month. It's really, really fun to work with colleagues to put together ideas to move forward clinical practice. So as usual, we share all of our videos, the articles, resources every week in our newsletter. If you're a clinician, you can sign up for our newsletter at reactiveeducation.com. If you are a patient or a family member, sign up for our newsletter at reactivept.com. It'll go out this week. I'll share the pieces that I shared today in this video, as well as our other videos from this week. And keep asking questions, keep reaching out. I love hearing from you. I love your curiosity of all things. It just really, really lights me up. So thank you for that. And I can't wait to see you again soon. Thanks so much and have a great night.